Hey everybody, it's Troy Fish Slim. Out Saugeye fishing, of course, at night on a cold, blustery, just change of front. Actually, it's coming, starting to warm up. We had a short wave of rain come through, and now we're waiting for the second round to come through later this in the early morning. Heat things back up. Didn't get here for the right at dark bite, but pretty challenging from what I've seen, what I had. Again, a lot of muddy, dirty water. Took me a while to find some, but I found a nice area that had some wind push. That was an east to northeast wind, not the greatest, but it was pushing around a point, creating a real nice eddy that I found some shad kind of moving around in. So set myself up with a Berkley Hit Stick and a Smith wick, and tuned those things up, got them to where they just kind of slow rised, and was pulling this thing out of that edge of the point where the wind was pushing into this slack water. As I'd pull it into that slack water, I'd give it a little twitch, and then I'd just let it sit. I do that, wait 4, maybe 5 seconds, give it another little twitch pull, and let it sit, usually on the pause, just a very soft touch, and Saugeye was smacking it. Work days slow at first, but after the rain kind of pushed through, they woke up better. I ended up catching probably 8 in about 20 minutes, and they were the better fish, all females. They actually was hitting a lot better. They were really loving the Berkley Hit Stick. This is the clown. If you can see that as well, how much weight it took me. I used my solder on that and tuned that by wrapping the shanks. So you can see these things rise fast, so you got to play with them a lot of solder to get them. But I had this thing to where it was just slowly rising up. That was the ticket with them. They loved this different wobble and sound chamber of a Smith wick, and some of the others seemed to be the ticket. But the key again was finding a good current area with a seam or an eddy, finding a little bit of bait, and also knowing that it was an area that typically will have fish move into at night to feed. Had a nice lighted area along with it, and it all went together. Got my baits right, presented them the right way, pulling them back into that seam. They didn't want you throwing it right into it. They wanted it to come out of the wind chop into it, and they were head first in it. That's the way you want. They weren't bad either. Just to give you an idea, I got some nice females, as you can see. So they are still out there eating. It's getting slower. Their feed periods are not as long. But if you're patient, use some bigger baits sometimes instead of smaller. It can be the ticket, because they're not looking to eat as much as normal. Also, someone asked me about that, and I said, look at their bellies now, man. They've been on a hard feed for a good month. They're ready for winter. So you might not get as many bites as normal. But when you do get to that spot and find them, and they are on their feed, do like I've always said. I caught these, I threw them off to the side, and I was right back out. I was able to get 8 of them in 20 minutes, and then it was done. So when they're biting, don't play around. Keep putting that bait in the water, and you'll add more Saugeyes to your stringer, or you might just be getting that one big female you've been looking for as your trophy. Tie lines, everybody.